Hi there, Luzia. Let's take a look at this first set of essays you've written us. This is about doing an enjoyable activity. So here's what you said. It is thought that some activities played by children are likely to contribute the most for certain abilities and ideas when compared to reading. I completely agree with the stated view, and in this essay I will discuss relevant reasons that support why more practical activities such as playing games and practicing sports can impact, this doesn't work, can more significantly affect children's development than the act of reading. Okay, fine. Although literacy skills are, please don't use the word big in IELTS essays. It's just such a basic word, and there's so many far more precise words that I would rather you use one of those, okay? Let's see. So instead, what could you have said here? Although literacy skills are greatly stimulated through reading, other types of activities such as playing games occupy a massive role in many aspects of a child's growth. I don't know about the word occupy there either. Maybe play a massive role would have been better. Despite the controversy of whether playing games is beneficial or detrimental for children, there is relevant support showing that the majority of games have a pedagogical function. This is because playing games is likely to help children to develop active skills, namely spatial awareness, meaning that this activity teaches about strategy, perception, and capacity to solve problems, in contrast with reading. All right, it's kind of a long sentence, and I don't mind you bringing in reading here, but if you're going to do it, you should perhaps say why you're comparing it to reading. So what does reading do? Don't just assume we understand how this comparison works. Tell us that reading is just a passive thing where you are absorbing visually the words on a piece of paper. So tell, spell it out for your reader. Don't assume that the reader knows what you're talking about, okay? So my feedback here is this should have been a shorter sentence, and I would have wanted to see this idea of reading here develop a little more. All right, furthermore, other practical actions such as performing a sport provide a wide variety of skills necessary for proper social interaction. Let's see, such as performing a sport. Okay, skills necessary for. All right, get rid of the A here, which once again cannot be taught exclusively through books. Indeed, the practice of group sports educates the importance without two. So educates the importance of teamwork to become successful. For instance, when playing football, children learn that in most situations, the more they pass the ball to each other, the more likely is the victory. Nice. Also, they are educated to respect not only the members of the same team, but the rivals as well. This social interaction prepares them for the future as citizens. All right, this is good. I think you could have maybe, in like a really, really highly developed essay, you could have extended a couple of these ideas. I thought they were actually really nice, but I think there could have been a little room for more extension there. But I like it, so no real problems there. In summary, although reading is part of a child's education, I believe that more practical activities are the only effective way to provide crucial skills in children. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It says better skills and creativity, right? What did you talk about? Here you talked about spatial awareness, strategy, perception, and capacity to solve problems. Okay, fine. Here, what did you talk about? You talked about teamwork and respect. All right? So, here's my question to you. Where is this idea of creativity in your essay? Where did you talk about it? As far as I can see, you never did. Or if you did, it was so implicitly mentioned that it's not going to count. And an examiner is going to say, oh, well, you only partially answered the question. So this is the kind of thing you have to be really, really, really careful about. What I would have liked to have seen, I mean, there were a couple of different ways you could have done this, but one thing would have been to spend maybe a paragraph talking about skills and another paragraph talking about creativity. All right, so that's one way you could have done this. In any event, you did need to talk about both skills and creativity, and that's obvious because they've separated creativity as a skill. Okay, so that's something I want you to think about. I did like a lot of what you did, though. There were some good grammar points that you used, and there was some nice vocabulary. All right, so let's take a look now at your second essay, which is about schools and whether they should be only academic or entertaining as well. Opinions are divided about the main role of schools. In my opinion, educational institutions have great potential not only to offer high standards of knowledge, but also to deliver moments of fun and happiness. In this essay, the importance of delivering enjoyable moments alongside with education will be discussed. Okay? Let's take a look at something. So you're telling me basically that you think both are needed. So we have to have educational schools, but they need to be more entertaining too. All right, fine. There is no doubt that the main aim of schooling is to transmit relevant information as a means of education. This is because these institutions are well organized towards that effect. Schools hold powerful resources and the most qualified professionals to teach literacy and numeracy skills, which are crucial for people's performance in several aspects of their lives. Also, you keep saying several, so let's lessen that. So, the subjects which are important to be taught consume most of the school time. As a result, it is understandable why the main focus of schools is to deliver classroom-based instruction. Okay, fine. Nevertheless, it can be said that schools do not serve exclusively to discipline. All right, this is not the right word. I think you mean something else. You're talking about academics, whereas discipline is something else. So I would have changed that word here. On the contrary, there are important centers of recreation. For example, in Western countries, most primary and secondary schools include about 2 hours of playing activities per day. During this period, students tend to be more relaxed, interact with each other, and have fun. These conditions appear to be extremely important in students' well-being and impact massively on their performance at school. In addition, these moments of diversion enrich social skills, which are part of the educational process. Therefore, entertainment is fundamental in students' life, and so it should be a part of all schools' curriculum. In summary, I agree that discipline and entertainment have a massive impact on the educational process, and therefore both should be part of school's curriculum. All right, this was good. Again, I didn't really care for that word discipline. I think I know what you're trying to say here. I think you mean discipline as like a subject, and not discipline where, you have to be disciplined and control yourself. So I think this is what you mean, but still it's the wrong word in this context. So that's one little problem, and it kind of creates some incoherence. Other than that, it's a very nicely written essay. You have a lot of really beautiful grammatical structures that I noticed. You have a lot of really nice areas of cohesion. So all those things are really very well done. I also really like the way you develop this. So in terms of task achievement, it's also very good. I think that it's some of these areas that I just mentioned, like regarding vocabulary, that are a little problematic. And the fact that those vocabulary errors create some incoherence. But other than that, like I said, it's a really well done essay. So you're off to a very good start. Now let's talk about what you need to do. The first thing you need to do is correct these essays based on this video correction. The second thing you need to do is to create an error correction list where you write down all the mistakes that were pointed out to you, and then next each mistake, write down what the corrected version would be. You'll need to add to that list with every essay correction you get back. And then the third thing, of course, is to write a new set of essays for us, applying everything you've been learning so far. So go ahead, get that started. Try to do it all within the next day or so you can really keep up your momentum. And we'll meet back here with your next set of essays. Good luck.